He also came back to this country because he was a proud Australian, born and educated in Australia, after it gave sanctuary to his parents from war-threatened Austria.
There's an incredible fealty and loyalty to this country, probably more than a lot of people who've been here for generations, their families. My family came out here as refugees just before the Second World War, and I have to say they wouldn't be alive and I wouldn't be alive if this country hadn't taken them in.
Before his arrival, the Prevent Blindness Foundation was little more than a name.
The mission to improve the eye health care of the community was given to me, handed on to me, so that I can put it into action. And that's what we've tried to do.
Now it is an institution respected across Australia with a growing reputation overseas.
Or two.
And one that spreads vital messages to the public about eye care.
Is it getting any better?
It's feeling very good.
All right.
It is a place of treatment for many of those who suffer eye problems. Many of the patients here, up to 50 a week, are those who have been written off as hopeless cases.
Right. Just too healthy, that's the trouble.
And yet, at the Prevent Blindness Foundation's cramped surgeries, as you have seen, small miracles are being performed.
Now try not to move. Cortisone drops. Sitting right on months after corneal transplant. I mean, she should talk to me if she can't afford it. I expect you to know some basic anatomy of the eye. If you don't, I may be a little more scathing than I am about
it is an integral place of learning for medical students at the University of Queensland.
What colour is it? It's a red eye. We've increased the educational opportunities, so there are people coming up now. I mean, I have to look after me. You know, in the sense that I'm only going to be around for another 10 years doing what I can do now. I'm going to die if I keep this up any longer than that. I have to make sure there are other people around with the same interests, the same drive and the skills who will want to carry this on. I suppose it's an ego thing as well, in the sense that when I go, if there aren't those other people, the whole thing will be lost. It really will be a temporary blip on history, and everyone would like to leave a little more than that.
It is also a place of important research in the treatment of eye disease.
And we've done it through improving research, actually initiating research. There was virtually no clinically applied research into eye conditions in Queensland.
To speak of the proud achievements of the Prevent Blindness Foundation is one thing, but to know that they have been achieved on shoestring budgets by a man and his team who work at least double the requirements of their jobs every week in cramped offices and surgeries is entirely another.
In the ward before you get a feed up, okay?
I think all of his staff that work for him love him, yeah. And that's very different to anywhere else I've ever worked or worked for, the people. And so when he gets people, he gets them.
In both a moral and practical sense, they're the ones that have kept me going through the tough times, and there have been lots of tough times, and there'll be more ahead, because they've just put the extra effort in. It's not for money anymore, it's not for personal gratification, it's because they want to see this thing work.
We are all vulnerable to blindness, even you. Yes, you with eyes that can see watching this. You are vulnerable, or members of your family or friends, all vulnerable to that dark demon of fate, blindness.